Howdy, 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 my name is Pranxis, and welcome back to Psycholonials. In the last quote-unquote episode, I thought that the interludes were going to be longer than they were, and was informed that all of the interludes are that short, so they will just be at the end of chapters from now on. So that's pretty much everything I had to say. Let's load her up, fam! Okay, so we're at the Stop and Shop. Madness has just happened. She seems to be walking home. You stand soaked and freezing alone at the steamboat wharf at night. You just checked Uber and no drivers are currently available, which you could have guessed right. Could have guessed might be the case at this hour during a pandemic. Maybe you didn't fully think this plan through. No, you shouldn't second guess what you did just because of some momentary sogginess. You review the facts. A nasty cop fired a bullet at an unarmed drunk girl who just crashed into a tree. The bullet missed but traveled directly through her painstakingly written manifesto, which really might as well have been like taking a bullet straight through the heart. What sort of author would you be if you didn't feel this way? So, you did what had to be done. You checked the dead cop for a body camera, but he didn't appear to be wearing one. You're not sure if the sleepy NPD even uses those. Well, you thought they were sleepy at least. You guess all police forces in quiet summer colonies seem sleepy until the bullets start flying towards drunk girls armed to the teeth with manifestos. But that squad car surely had a dashboard camera, so you had to do something. What were you going to do? Shoot the gas tank and blow up the car? That probably only works in movies. And the water is right there! You're completely surrounded by the stuff, actually. Now, the only evidence linking you to the scene is your wrecked car, registered to your name, and the immediate vicinity of a dead cop without a squad car. Okay, that sounds pretty incriminating when you put it that way. You'll have to think about how to handle that, but more importantly, you really need to get out of here. You check Uber one more time. Now it says there's a ride available 6 minutes away. That's a relief. It'll give you time to improvise an alibi. You dial 911 and think about what you're going to say before hitting the dial button. The dispatcher picks up and asks about your emergency. You try to sound calm because it's not a real emergency, not when it comes to the role you're playing right now. You're still cozy and warm in your apartment. You just don't know where your car is. Hey, I don't know if this is a real emergency. I just didn't know where else to call. I'm pretty sure my car was stolen today. The dispatcher goes through the motions, asking for your name and other relevant information. No reason to hold anything back. You want them to know who you are so they can rule you out when they find the body in the wreck. You then continue weaving your improvised story. Yeah, so I think it might have been my abusive ex-boyfriend. He's been snooping around lately and has a spare set of keys. The fucker never gave them back to me. The dispatcher asks about it. Damn, you didn't think this far ahead. You continue spinning. Oh, his name? Sorry, I don't know if... I'm pretty scared of him. Not sure if I want to be on record ratting him out. Don't you have, like, some witness protection shit I can do? The dispatcher explains that isn't really how that works, but they can send an officer over in the morning so you can file a police report. Oh wow, no, I don't think, you really need to end this call before the wheels completely fall off this attempted alibi. Hey, can I text photos to you to 911 or the police? How do I do that? The dispatcher provides you with a number to text and you hang up. Your mind races for the right play. You panic and send the most recent photo which comes to mind. Damn. That probably was not the best idea. Maybe you should have just hung up after saying you were scared to give his name, but you just had to go further with the bullshit. Witness protection program? What the hell was that? Oh well, it's done. It's a small wrinkle in your alibi, but you think you've easily done what enough to leave the police feeling confused about what happened tonight? Your Uber's here. Not a moment too soon. You're freezing and exhausted. Click. Somehow, role-playing on the phone with a first responder has been more psychologically draining than exchanging gunfire with one. Sorry about that weirdness, I had to grab a tissue. Also, my headset might be dying, I'm not sure. It keeps beeping at me, but I literally just charged it. It just did it again. It was fully charged, and I listened to like half an hour of internet with it, and now it's blooping for death. Why are you blooping for death? Anyway, we're almost home. This is Abby's house. Wow! I can't believe you actually came! I've just been watching my phone all night, waiting for you to tell me you can't make it after all. Get in here! Just wanted to eat. I made... Z? Are you okay? Why are you so wet? You look soaked. Oh, yeah, I fell in a puddle on the way over. Ella, you were right. I was too drunk to drive, so I just took an Uber. It's hard to find a ride this time of night. Oh yeah, I bet. So you fell in a puddle and got soaked head to toe? It was a big fucking puddle. Jesus. Why did you go clean up? You could grab anything from my room to change into something dry. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, I'll be right here. I'll heat you up some dinner when you get back. Laugh my ass off. God, you poor thing. You're having a rough day, aren't you? Don't worry. You made the right call coming over. I'll take care of you. Thanks, Mom. Are we Abby now? The manifesto with the bullet hole. Don't ask questions, Abby. You can't bring yourself to tell her yet. Tonight was too much. You just need an evening to unwind without making Abby freak out about your cop murder. You're sure you'll get around to telling her later if you can think of the right way to break it to her. She's been too good a friend to saddle her with the disastrous karma you can't seem to avoid stockpiling. Or perhaps you aren't stockpiling karma so much as dharma. Or maybe it's some chaotic juxtaposition of the two concepts. Maybe you've been key smashing your whole way through life and only now is your soul reaping the auto-corrected consequences of this haphazard practice. Gotta ditch this. Why do you still have that? I thought it was in the water. Right, you picked it up when you picked up your phone. You stashed it in one of the bottom drawers underneath some junk. She'll probably never look in here. You guess you could have tossed the gun too, sent it to a watery grave along with the squad car. But now you're technically a fugitive. You start the future even less, or you trust the future even less than you did at the start of the day. There's no guarantee you won't need this gun again later. You didn't ask for this shit. Yeah, you guess you shouldn't have been driving drunk, but why should that mean you're suddenly dodging bullets from one of NPD's finest? Whatever, the pig is dead. But you know, the matter isn't done with by a long shot. It'll keep haunting you unless you start fighting back. This was the gift that the party officer gave you tonight. An albatross that'll hang around your neck for the rest of your life, but you suddenly decide not to see it that way. The true gift he gave you was resolve. You're so pissed about it, now you're on the right track. Or now you know you're on the right track. Your ambivalence about rebooting your brand is completely gone now. In its place is the same rage and disgust which led you to write your manifesto in the first place. Rage and disgust for injustice, for the systemic evils of this nation, for the weakness and compliance which quell the righteous outrage of its citizens. And now, several years after its completion, there's even more to be mad about. Persecution from the miserable wretches online who cancelled you, the ensuing mental breakdown which caused your life to spiral till you ended up on this island. And now, on top of all that, an almost certain shitstorm brewing from law enforcement once they start piecing together what happened tonight. Well, they can do their worst. All the dirtbags out there can have at you soon enough because you won't be hiding for much longer. Your brand is about to get a very serious facelift. And once you step into the spotlight again, from now on, people are going to find it a lot harder to ignore what you have to say. You and Abby have a lot of work to do tomorrow. The next day! It's a cutscene or... Oh, it's pretty. And so, hey, a horse! I am Abby now! Your name is Abby. It's pronounced exactly as it's spelled, so that's made life pretty easy for you. Another thing that's made life easy is the fact that your parents are rich. Rich doesn't really do it justice, though. Most people who vacation on this island for the summer are rich, relative to the average American citizen. Your parents are billionaires. And not the kind that barely qualify. 1 billion has 10 digits, but they didn't seem content to stop at 10, and society was more than happy to oblige. They own the house you live in, which represents a minuscule rounding error in the grand scheme of their total net worth. Easy to forget about most of the year, and they probably would if you didn't live here year-round. Growing up, you formed memories of this place strictly as a summer home. But after college, you decided to move in here permanently. Mostly because it keeps them out of your hair. It's not the most convenient place to visit, so they never bother until summer rolls around. And this year it's looking more and more like the summer, as you once understood it, never will. It's roughly 9 AM and you have just woken up. Later than yesterday, but that's okay. You were up late night tending to your beleaguered friend, and even popular influencers need to sleep in sometimes. Your bedroom is tidy and you always notice if it isn't. You make sure to keep it that way to reflect well on your brand whenever this room is used as a backdrop for your content. Ordinarily, you'd reach for your smartphone first thing in the morning, after an extensive routine of cooking breakfast, exercising, and feeding your beautiful horse. But right after all that, you go for your phone to check out the action surrounding your exceedingly well-trafficked accounts. But for whatever reason, today feels a little different. Instead, you decide to take in the environment. As a thoughtful influencer, you really can't spend too much time tweaking the appearance of the lifestyle you sell to the adoring public. Nothing is left to chance. Your posters are carefully chosen and arranged to broadcast the preferred aesthetic to your crowd. And that aesthetic turns out to be a simple composite of your interests. Which, judging from this wall, appears to be BTS, horses, and, well, that's about it. Your mind is a train that chugs along precisely 2 narrow rails. You'd almost be embarrassed about the single-mindedness of your enjoyments, but what can you say? You like what you like, and you make no excuses. Your fans are nothing if not supportive of these twin obsessions. Get a little closer to the hanging graphic depicting your favorite boys. It's hard to resist basking in their glow every now and then. BTS is an extremely popular K-pop group, and you are a vocal member of the army, which is what the fandom calls itself. You estimate you spend the majority of your waking hours contemplating these 7 extraordinarily beautiful boys. Your bio says you're bisexual, but you often like to joke in your post that you'd like women as well as exactly 7 men, and that's it. You're also an avid Jikook truther, which is to say you strongly believe Jimin and Jungkook are secretly in love with each other, but you don't consider this a theory or even a particularly well-kept secret. The evidence is overwhelming, and those who refuse to concede to these stone-cold facts are blind, delusional charlatans. You've even written a manifesto on the subject, which, as you've told Z before, is something only crazy people do, but you are the one exception to that rule, since when it comes to this subject, you aren't crazy at all. Your eyes are wide open. Your wide-open eyes wander to another poster featuring a number of majestic stallions. What else is there to say on the matter? You just plain fucking love horses. Enough said? Yeah, you think so. Horses kick ass. The end. You meander towards your desk. Mostly cosmetic and hair supplies live here, plus some other silly stuff to keep things fun whenever you stream content from this station. Little conversation pieces, things for your fans to notice and comment on. Nothing from any fandom you're particularly interested in per se, but you're mindful of the interests of your followers and you like to throw the little bones here and there. But when you're not streaming or doing yourself up for shoots, this here is the main reason you find yourself at this desk. You primarily use this laptop to write your fics. Lately, it's all RPF stories dedicated to exploring the alternate universe lives of your 7 favorite boys. Many of these fics get pretty racy. None of your fans have the slightest idea this is one of your hobbies. You keep it a pretty tight lid on the habit since it's frowned upon in many fandom circles, to say the least. Okay, the truth is you think you'd get crucified if it got out. But you're not much like Z, and you don't throw caution to the wind as she has in the past. Your brand is a tight ship? Well, except when it comes to effusively sharing your sexual exploits with followers. In that sense, it's quite a loose ship, but when it comes to writing fiction, that's a whole different can of worms, and heads will understandably roll if the wrong types of online stories were to be associated with your name. There's your horse. His name is David Hasselhoff. Your parents got him for you as a high school graduation present when he was just a little wobbly like little colt. That makes him almost 10 years old now. When you graduated from Harvard, the first thing you did was make plans to transport David to the island where you could reunite with him and tend to him when you're owning the summer home. He is far from your favorite family member, the very essence of... he is by far your favorite family member, the quiet essence of quiet strength and loyalty. It's quiet too many times. As for the silly name, it came with the horse. You had never even heard of David Hasselhoff before you got him. You assume it's a pop cultural reference that boomers would get worked up about. But the way you saw it, who are you to fault them their pop references? God knows you're prone to indulging in the references held dear by you and your peers, so you can't possibly begrudge your elders the same simple joy. Besides, you thought the name was cute. Your phone is buzzing. Who could that be? I would see starting a video chat not out of the ordinary, but quite ridiculous in this context, considering she slept in your house last night. What up? Hey, you're awake! Kinda. Why don't you come downstairs? I'll make you something. Check out this bitch who can't seem to stop feeding me. What did I even do to deserve this bed and breakfast shit? You do realize I suck, right? You've been living a very unhealthy lifestyle. I just want to help you recuperate before you sink back into your den of despair. I don't know if I'll be going back anytime soon. Your parents' huge bed is super comfy. I must say I enjoy rolling around on its extravagant expanse, getting my stank all over it. I feel like I'm marking my territory. I'm glad you're amusing yourself in there. I pissed in it, actually, to really get the job done. LOL, no you didn't. Sure I did. Please tell me you didn't actually pee in my parents' bed. Well, no, not yet at least. I do have to pee kind of bad, though. Oh my fucking god, will you get the fuck out of there? Come on, we're in the same house, this is dumb. Let's hang out. Tell me all about your big plans. Oh yeah, that shit. I almost forgot why I made the harrowing journey to your manor. Yes, I know, you risked your life and limb to get here and fell in a huge puddle. I'm hanging up now, come downstairs. Whose dick do I have to suck to get a mimosa around here? Mine? Well, if I must. But if that's how it's gotta be, then your bed and breakfast is about to get a Yelp review for the ages. Z, why don't you hold off on the booze for a while? It isn't even 10 a.m. yet. Here, I will fix you some orange juice. What? I thought this was brunch. That's how you do brunch, right? Yesterday you were so drunk you were barfing in macaroni and falling into puddles. Oh yeah. Just slow down. My parents have a wine cellar which you can feel free to read tonight. Wow, nice. The Yelp review just got a lot better. Good enough to bury the tawdry dick-sucking lead, at least. LOL. So, speaking of last night and falling into puddles, what about it? Well, you were completely soaked last night, but I noticed your manuscript was dry. Yeah, okay, so I lost my balance, and I could tell I was heading right for the puddle. The huge puddle, yeah. And I didn't want my thing to get wet, because, like, pretty got another one would just be a fucking pain. So as I was falling, I used my quarterback arm and, like, launched it to safety, then splash, down I go. I see. Why is there a hole in it? Oh, well, that's a hell of a story. It looks like a bullet hole. Yeah, it is. I shot my own fucking manifesto. Huh? You mean last night? No. This was like years ago when I finished the thing. Remember my whole mental breakdown? Oh, damn. Yeah, I mean, yes, you've told me the story, but I guess not all of it? The day I finished that thing coincided almost exactly when all of that was going down. Like when my dad died and I dropped out of school and then completely fell apart and said all that crazy shit online. I also finished my manifesto and I guess I, shot it due to going nuts. Jesus. Well, you're one of the... You're the one who tells me only crazy people write manifestos. Is it really that surprising I pop a cap of my own magnum opus? I guess not. I have to admit I feel kind of crazy maintaining my own manifesto, but I don't think I would ever shoot it. That just means you can't be all that passionate about it. Oh, excuse me, but that is bullshit. I mean every word of it with all my heart. You should read it. Abs, I'm not reading your sordid K-pop manifesto. Oh, why not? I'm trying to understand your stuff and help you with it, because you don't need to sell me on anything. If you say that your boys Jim Cook are fucking each other, then I believe you. But there's so much to it. Yeah, and I believe it. Just let those boys be in love, you know? Good for them. I don't need it proven through your painstaking academic rigors. Okay, fair enough. Meanwhile, unlike you, I'm intellectually curious enough to delve into another woman's delirious manifesto. Oh, you read it? A few pages. That is what little I could glean from around the gaping bullet hole. So, what do you think? It's unsurprisingly quite intense. I'd expect nothing less. It's also very, what? Clown heavy? Yeah, it's all about clowns. Wasn't this all just inspired by your Juggalo phase? I don't know about that. There are a lot of inspirational forces that went into this. Mostly all of this shit came to me in a series of increasingly psychotic dreams in the run-up to my mental breakdown. That's pretty hardcore, and now you want to turn whatever this is into your new brand? Yep. I'm fully committed to it now, on a fucking mission. Well, cool. I mean, I remember you talking about it before, but it was always in the vague context of some crazy thing you wrote, not something you actually wanted to do something with. So, if I want to help you out, maybe you can explain it to me a little more. Mostly it's just a bunch of revolutionary rhetoric about how American capitalism sucks and should be destroyed. Naturally, but the socialist rhetoric is repackaged to be like super clowny. Well, who doesn't love a nice clown? Fucking nobody. So that's it, lots of radical left-wing philosophy plus like everyone gets to be a clown? Basically, but there's a lot more to it. There's also tons of lore. Lore? Yeah, that's what my feverish dreams provided mostly. It's so much shit. I talk about where these ideas came from. The Jubilites originated on the planet Whimsifay. Whoa, a planet? So Jubilites are alien clowns? Yeah, well, they were. Their civilization died millions of years ago, and their founder has been communicating to me through dreams. Not literally, I mean, I know they're just dreams, but that's what the lore says. Whimsify. That's how it's pronounced, but it's spelled Whimsifay. Whimsify. Well, LOL, cool. I didn't know it was this deep. I guess this was a whole creative writing project then, not just a crazy manifesto? Oh no, it's still crazy as fuck. But yeah, it runs very deep. I think with my new brand, I'll just release the whole thing sequentially, like in little bits, a few pages at a time. Okay, so where do we start? Well, obviously the first thing I'm going to need is a new clown sona. Ooh, that sounds fun. Yeah, clowns are fun as shit, that's the whole point of them. Laugh my ass off. That's how I envision rebooting my brand, I just start the fuck over. Then I come out with my clown sona and I'm like, hey, this is me now, I'm a fucking clown, and I do a bunch of photo shoots and that's my starting content. Once I establish myself that way, then I start rolling out the serialized manifesto content. Like, start pitching that to people and see if I can drag more enthusiastic new clowns into my tent. This sounds great. I can help you come up with a clown sona, maybe later I can make one too. Oh, I expect nothing less. You make a lovely Jubilite. Wow, flattery will get you everywhere. It better, bitch. How about after breakfast we head up to my vanity mirror? We can give you a whole glow up. A clown up. Hell yeah. Later. Well, the music shifted. This needs to be better than my old Juggalo clown sona. What did that look like? Do you have any photos? Probably, but it just looked like some edgy teen piss. You don't need to see that shit. It will contaminate our results. Didn't you also cosplay a long time ago? You should be an old head at this. Maybe you don't even need my help. Yes, I did when I was a kid, but you don't have nearly the amount of gray makeup it would take to duplicate those results. Huh? Never mind, we won't be speaking of that. You cosplayed as Gamzee, didn't you? I just want some cool clown shit to make some cool clown shit happen here. I think I want it to have something to do with Z's. Z's? Like, my name? Oh, yeah! Here, let me try something. Z. Oh, that's actually fucking sick. You like it? Yeah, yes, I do. As for a ridiculous bimbo, you can be a genius sometimes. I mean, I did graduate from Harvard, you know. Yeah, by fucking all the professors, right? Well, yes, but isn't that what a genius would do? Yeah, I rest my case. Here, let me mess with this look some more. Oh, look at you! This is so cute. It's not supposed to be cute, though. It's supposed to be badass. Well, it's that too, but mostly it's cute because I know who's underneath. Oh my god. What? I don't know, maybe my clown sona's working too well. You're already hitting on me. Laugh my ass off, but I always do that! I know, but now I've added clown pheromones to the equation. Could be dangerous. Perhaps. So is that it? You think you're done? With the face, yeah. But obviously I need some new ensembles. None of your clothes are going to cut it because you're an absurd giant. And I don't want to go back to my place anytime soon because, well, I just don't. We could always go shopping this week. More places are open for business than you would think. Yeah, what about a name? What? Doesn't your clown sona need a clowny name? No, I think I'll just keep my name. Since it's already a name I gave myself to replace my parent-given name, I'll rebrand and all, but I won't keep name-hopping like a fool. I guess that makes sense. Some old haters will link my new brand with my controversial past, but I don't even really care at this point. They can take their best shot, but I'm not running anymore. Am I allowed to make up a clowny name when I make a clown sona? Of course, that is strongly encouraged for all those who choose to clown up. Oh, I know what I'll go with! My old screen name when I was a kid. Apple Pie. Oh, I see. Well, now who's the one being fucking cute? I guess it was me when I was 10 years old and playing Neopets, but also it's still you and your cute clown makeup. You're right. It's a shame to waste all this clowny cuteness on my gay mother who would think I was cute even if I took a shit right on her bedroom floor. Wow! So why don't we take the new brand for a spin and see what people think? But you don't have your new fix yet. Whatever, I'll just take a headshot selfie. You want in on this? LOL, okay. You clear out your Instagram account, deleting the photos from your stale brand, and then post the inaugural selfie showing off your new clown Sona. Abby Cross posts the same photo to her account and tags you in it. No going back now. The new brand has officially launched. The day slips by as you monitor the comments and feedback on your humble starter post. The reception to your clown Sona is almost universally positive. You can't tell if it's real praise or if Abby's followers are just being polite to her friend who's an obvious charity case and just got a nice pity shout out. It doesn't matter though, because at the end of the day, clout is clout and you have to start somewhere. You're already well over 10,000 new followers, which seems an absurdly high number to you. But when you consider you're just siphoning off some of Abby's followers of 3 million, it's just a tiny drop in the bucket. Still, it's a strong start for having only posted a single clown selfie, and now it's up to your showmanship to build on it. Still clowned up, huh? Yeah, I'm living in the paint for a while, trying to get in the character. There's a character? I thought your clown Sona was just you. Well, it is. The Jubilite Manifesto says your clown Sona is an expression of your truest self, like a final form. Sounds like some anime shit. It's totally some anime shit. Well, it sure seems like people are enjoying your clown Sona. I think they're just being polite for now. It's all a bit patronizing. Your followers just like whatever you do, so of course they're going to be nice to your weird clown friend. We'll see how they really feel once I start rolling out my actual content. I'm really curious to see where it goes. I'll just keep giving you shoutouts until we can get your brand to take flight. I can't believe what a chicken shit I was being about following you. This could be so fun! The losers who have a problem with me supporting you aren't even worth any consideration anyway. Yeah, basically, and besides, nobody's even said anything yet. Maybe because nobody's connected me with my previously problematic identity yet? I suppose that is one advantage to clowning up. You keep the old haters guessing. The haters will probably catch on soon enough, and then we'll see what consequences that'll have. I just don't give a fuck anymore. I hope they show themselves. Makes it easier for me to keep an eye on them. Yeah, whatever. Life is too short to worry about how the opinions of shitty people reflect on your reputation. We're just having some fun here. Speaking of which, looks like you found the wine cellar. Oh yeah. I highly recommend the 2016 Domaine Georges Rumiere Musini. Excellent vintage. LOL, if you say so. I don't actually know anything about wine. Neither do I. I just looked around the cellar and checked prices online. This was the most expensive shit I could find. It goes for $17,000 a bottle. Really? The internet says so, yeah. I had no idea my parents had such pricey stuff down there. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Don't they also have a bunch of fucking Bentleys in the garage? There's one Bentley and a few other cars, but yeah, they spend money on a lot of stupid things. Maybe we should have saved this super expensive wine for a special occasion, though? Bitch, this is a special occasion. Just a couple of friends hanging out for the first time in forever, clowning up and making plans to cause problems on purpose. You're right. If this doesn't count as a $17,000 night, then I don't know what does. Cheers! Let this mark the beginning of a long and fruitful endeavor to exploit the living shit out of your parents and their obscene hoard of ill-gotten wealth. I'll certainly drink to that. What else did you have in mind? Give me some time to build the brand first, then I'll let you know what's up. It's all related, you'll see. The suspense is killing me. I hope you're prepared to bring this level of showmanship to your new brand and not waste it all on me. You don't need to worry about that. You just keep supplying me with fresh new simps and I'll play the role of ringmaster. Who's calling? Oh, nobody. Just some fucking spam. 1 week later. Oh dang. After 7 days and nights of being supplied with a steady diet of fresh new simps due to Abby's enthusiastic hype, combined with your newfound flair for social media ringmastering, your Instagram following has ballooned to a figure you can barely comprehend. Just over 500,000 new subscribers. This total was unfathomable to you at one point, but you have to keep reminding yourself that this is a modest fraction of Abby's total fandom. They count as your fans too now, only by the promotion she has generously provided. The true test comes when you begin to flex your vision in front of a sizable starting crowd. You've begun releasing the introductory portions of your manifesto, which have been met with a largely positive reception, if somewhat confused as well. While your new fans appear to be humoring your dogmatic content, they mainly seem to be here for the novelty of your clowny e-girl stuff. You're rolling in more simps than you know what to do with now. An almost limitless reservoir of thirsty boys would appear to be at your disposal for just about anything. Of course, they're mostly all the same eager simps who've been hounding after Abby for years, who seem more than willing to migrate to a greener, clownier pasture. And, of course, as expected, a few old antis have begun to surface as well, and they brought receipts. You knew they would. You simply delete some of the comments containing links to your previously problematic behavior, block, and move on. The negativity is overwhelmingly drowned out by other more positive comments regardless. Pickle Rick Fart and Steph P 9089 were the bad ones. But Gerald is into it. This is a relief to see, and it helps you rise above the hate. But you don't rise above it before you take note of every single hater and anti who smears you in your comment section and elsewhere. Make sure to maintain a thorough list of every nasty piece of shit before you block, move on, and benevolently rise above the noise. They're nothing to you now except motivation. There are multiple Pickle Rick ones. Motivation to prove them wrong and make them deeply sorry it ever even occurred to them to post unkind words about such a cute and creative clown girl with a sensational new brand. Your sharp rise on the coattails of your famous friend has all been good fun to monitor, but the fact is, you've barely even begun revealing the good shit. And before you share that stuff with your new fandom, you'll need to make sure Abby is up to speed on the next phase of the campaign. Abby, we need to talk about Pranxis. LOL, what? Pranxis. It's the first critical piece of Jubilite doctrine I'll be unveiling soon. But you need to know about it first, and much more importantly, you need to practice it. I do? Why? Because pretty soon this movement is going to need money, and I mean an absolute fuck ton of money. As generous as you have been with your credit cards helping me buy new clothes and shit, that level of financing isn't really going to cut it. But one of my credit cards has $1 million limit. Wow, a whole $1 million. That's cute. Cute. See, you drive a fucking Kia, and yet I am one with an exceptionally refined palate for expensive wine. And I also know $1 million is a bullshit chicken feed number. You need to start thinking bigger. Maybe you should try to relax. Your account is off to such a good start. Between the two of our accounts, we could pull together some really good revenue streams. If you start stressing about how it's all chicken feet money or whatever, you won't have any fun. Wasn't that the point of all this, to have fun? Abby, you still don't understand. Pranxis is the very essence of having fun, and the more money you make, the more it multiplies the fun you're having. Okay, I'm sure that's true and all, but that's one of the points I've been trying to make with my parents. I've already been doing some serious numbers. I know I half-assed my business degree, but I've actually been able to translate my following into a pretty profitable situation while having a good time doing it, so my parents can both eat shit about my bad career choices. Yeah, on the topic of your parents, that's what this is about. I thought this was supposed to be about Pranxis. It's also about Pranxis. Well, what the fuck is Pranxis? Fashion Girl Love 1. Pranxis is fucking everything. A mission-critical plank in the Jubilite platform. A central pillar, actually. It's what most of my manifesto's sanctioned clownery revolves around. It also happens to be the key to how I start bankrolling the fuck out of this jam. Alright, genius, so what is it? Well, you know what a prank is. Yes? Do you know what Pranxis is? No? Hello? Okay, forget all that then. It doesn't actually matter for the time being. Let's talk about your parents. If you help me out with this, then that'll be your first real-life lesson in Pranxis. When's the last time you talked to them? Oh, a couple of days ago, actually. They've really called, but they do keep an eye on my accounts. And I guess they've noticed I've been doing something different lately? Oh, well. They sure do hate your crazy social diatribes. But I also have them believing this is all just an act to own the libs or whatever. Like, good for ratings and all, but down the road we're just gonna fuck with people about it. Turn it into a racket or something. It's just easier to deal with them if I tell them things like that. They think it's a good idea in theory, but wow, you sure do rile them up. This is all incredibly good, actually. Abby, you didn't even know it, but you're actually naturally gifted in the art of Pranxis already. I am? Yeah, this is perfect table setting, prepping the marks and all, so I don't even think I have much explaining to do here. I just need you to call them again soon. I already typed a bunch of notes for you to hit in your conversation. Okay. By now, you've become considerably more familiar with the finances of Abby's family. Over the past week, you've pieced together a more complete picture through questioning Abby and a few other methods of research. Their political activity was some of the easiest stuff to find. Over the last 4 years, they've been steadily making huge donations to the Trump campaign. But more recently, it looks like they switched to becoming heavy Biden donors. You're sure it's not for any ideological reasons, but likely due to the entire Trump charade looking more like a sinking ship all the time, especially in light of the pandemic response to this economic fallout. You can tell this move must have been a bitter pill for her dad to swallow, and while he is kind of a dumbass, he's also not so stupid as to let a perfectly hollow, easily corruptible president waltz into office without taking a bunch of his money first. The truth is, in the man's heart of hearts, you doubt he really gives a shit about which senile rapist gets to run the show, as long as he gets to take photos with him at $50,000 per plate fundraising dinners. And if you take a closer look at the companies which they own a lot of shares in, it becomes pretty obvious the economic disruption has hit them pretty hard. Wild swings in their total net worth to the tunes of billions. Their money people must have been moving the assets around like crazy to protect what's left. It's hard to pin down their total net worth given the complexity of the holdings, but your recent estimates have it somewhere between $20 and $30 billion. But probably not for long, depending on the economy, of course, as well as what you and Abby can manage to put into motion with your revolutionary new philosophy known as Pranxis. So I just had a pretty long talk with them. They're really surprised I called, but happy to hear from me. I never call out of the blue like that. That's good. What happened? I just went through everything you listed for me, but naturally, you know. Which meant I had to talk for a long time, just bullshitting away with small talk, so it didn't seem suspicious. That's great. See, I told you, you barely need any coaching at all. Laughed my ass off. Come on, Z. Why are you so surprised I'm good at working my parents? I've been bamboozling these people my whole life. I bet. Go on. I finally got around to bringing up the Bitcoin stuff again. Actually, it was really smooth because I already brought it up. What, like a year ago? Remember that? Yeah, because I told you to. I know. Have you really been planning this for that long? At the time, I thought you were just having me do it as a goof. It was a goof, but it also served the double purpose of laying the groundwork in case we ever wanted to finally make all this stuff happen. That's how you have to do it. Think long term and just make the most of future opportunities as they present themselves. Or create those opportunities like we're doing now. Yeah, I just started babbling about Bitcoin shit again per your notes, but I still feel like I don't know what I'm talking about when I get into it. I know you don't. It's good you sound a little confused about it because you are. You're not supposed to be an expert. This is just stuff you've been reading up on a little. All you're doing right now is priming them. Right. So, are you really going to hack all my parents' money? Like, that wasn't just more of your outrageous bullshit all this time? Abby, this is what hacking is. It's like 90% social engineering. You need to be patient, plant all of these seeds along the way, set up points of psychological leverage, and when the time is right, you have to have a little bit of low-end programming ready to go. This all sounds a lot easier. This is all a lot easier than it sounds. It is? Yeah, I've been doing a bunch of stuff already. LOL, I bet you have. Over the last week, I've been micro-targeting your parents on Facebook with ads for Bitcoin shit. Oh my god. For the service I want them to be using, of course. It's a real service, deals in high-volume crypto transactions. The point is to get them to do real shit first, then get tricky with it a little later. Okay. I've also been emailing them shit that looks legit enough, kind of bombarding them with info. Offhand testimony from trusted people, other rich fucks spooked about the economy, and now you're one of the human levers too. When the time comes, you're the one who pushes them to make the final move. Who are the trusted people? I mean, they're fake. It's all just me. I started a few fake chain emails, you know, the ones boomers love to reply to and forward around. It's like catnip, they can't fucking help themselves. Put a ton of crap email addresses in the recipient field, including a bunch from people I know they're acquaintances with. Nobody too close, but names of other rich people they'd recognize and listen to if they saw them babbling about crypto as a way to protect their billions in a dumb email chain. Wow. I actually did this on a whim, being skeptical of the returns, but it's been working phenomenally. I got your mom to reply to one of these chains a few times credulously. I worked her a little bit with one of the sock puppets, some other rich dude she's met. It's so easy to get these names, the Republican donor lists are kind of a gold mine. Wait, you've been talking to my mom? Sure, why not? That isn't even a good part. After I got her interested enough in the subject, I had this dude kind of pull her aside. I deleted all the names from the chain and just worked her one-on-one, got pretty flirty. Turns out your mom's a real saucy bitch. What? Bottom line is she's sort of having an affair now? Sorry, Abs, your mom's getting a lot more side action from me than you could ever imagine. Oh my god! Please don't be jealous, it's just some undercover spy work, like some James Bond shit. This breathtakingly horny Karen means nothing to me, I promise. I'm losing my mind! Well, if I knew you'd be this hot and bothered by it, I would have just blind copied you on all the emails. I mean, I still could. See, I don't even... You're unbelievable. How do you even come up with shit like this? Cool your jets, Abby. I already said what's going on. It's just a bit of playful Pranxis, that's all. Not even that far along the process, really. It's only phase 1. Phase 1? Yeah, I'm just setting them up. At the right moment, you, a trusted and beloved daughter who is famous and influential, will knock them down. Okay, I believe you, but how do I do that? Fine, I'll just walk you through the play. The thing to do now is wait for the right opportunity. Everybody's already spooked about the economy, so we pick our spot, and when we do, we exploit their fears over more huge stock market losses to swoop in with the Bitcoin shit. And I work my angles too, like your mom. My email chain Romeo says he's just shifted most of his assets to crypto to ride this out, whereas you're coming at it like an heiress. Just say you're trying to do your part to protect the family fortune. You push the same exchange site I've been pushing with my micro-targeting, so I get them to buy tons of bitcoins and then you hack the coins? LOL, no, there's no hacking involved, just stealing. The exchange service really exists. It's a real way to buy coins and you put them all in a wallet. Their financial people will agree this is a sound way to do it. It's solid and vetted. I don't expect them to do anything with their money guys wouldn't sign off on. We just step into the middle of the process. The part where your dad stores the shit in the digital wallet. I designed a spoof wallet site that looks and functions exactly like the one on the real site he's buying from. Similar URL. Even ask for a password first. Do you have his password? LOL, no. Don't you see it? These are all mind games. You enter any shit in the login fields and it works fine, but he will enter his real name and password, at which point the game's over. Once I have that, I can do almost anything. But it doesn't even need to stop there. He could even just go right ahead, feeling confident it's a secure site because it just accepted his password, and then he stores the coin data directly into my fake-ass wallet, at which point he has just fucking handed the coins right over to me. It's basic phishing shit. Usually people are more on guard for things like this, but not if trusted family members are sending them links being all like, cool, you're almost there, Dad. Now open the wallet. Here's a link to that. Yeah, I see. And once the coins are ours, that's it. Their money's gone. I resell them, move the money around a bit, stash it in offshore accounts. My guess is if we pull it off, it will be a long time before we even realize it was gone, and if that happens, I don't know. Just blame hackers or whatever. Well, hackers did take it. Exactly. So how much are we going for here? Like, all of their money? Probably not. No way anyone's pushing through a 20 or $30 billion Bitcoin transaction, and their money people would shit bricks if it was proposed. But you hype them up for as much as possible. Whatever their guys can agree to as sound diversification policy. Okay, Z, what are you even gonna do with all this money? I have some ideas. Oh boy, well, I can't wait to find out what they are. Bum, bum. Huh? Who could that be? Is it the police? Oh, it is the police. How do they find you? How did they find you? Probably the Uber records. Dun dun. Is that how the chapter's ending? End of chapter 2. I was kind of thinking they weren't going to come back around to it from how it had been going. Also, hey, my headset didn't die. So I don't know why it's been blooping. Chapter 3. Okay, there's no interlude this time. Okay, so let's... Or I think I'm trapped in a cutscene. Okay, save the game. I cannot save the game. I'm trapped in the cutscene. Okay, not trapped. Save the game. Alright, so that's going to do it for episode 3 of Let's Play Psycholonials. And the next episode, we're going to find out how they found Z at Abby's house, I guess. Or Z's going to go insane and drag Abby down with her. Insane-er. So, if you like this video, a like and a subscribe will be groovy. If you didn't, you don't need to do either one of those things. If you want to click the bell, you can do that as well so that you're notified of future uploads. And I will see y'all in the next one. Later.